Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful and very early Atlanta, Georgia. Look at that sky. Got the sun coming up over here. It is 6:45 in the morning. I decided to do this video today now instead of after we're done because I'm a little fresher in the morning, right? I'm not tired. It is 2024. I said on the last video it was 2023 and somebody called it. So my apologies. That light's got a glare. Anyway, I had a really good idea from one of the viewers that wanted to know or wanted to have, they had an idea for a video about my ideal lawn. I don't think I've ever done that before. So pretty much everything around here is bi-weekly. All right, it's very rare to have a weekly account. It's just a thing here in Atlanta. And for me, right, when I think of my ideal lawn, because it is so incredibly hilly here, and it's a, you know, it just adds to the stress, not only on the mower, but also on the cut quality, depending on the terrain, and also on your body. My ideal lawn would be, number one, it would be flat. And that's very, very hard to come by. I have some that are semi-flat, but I know I say this on a lot of videos, I envy the guys that are in, well, middle and South Georgia and Florida, maybe out in, I don't know, maybe Oklahoma, Texas, the guys that have everything is just board flat, Louisiana. Because I could use any mower, right? So most of the mowers that we use here, most of the people, I'm gonna say 75% of what people use to cut grass with are walk behinds. Some form or fashion with a Velcro on the back. Mostly they're X marks. You do see riders and you do see standers, but a vast majority of people are using walk behinds. So it would be flat. Now my minimum fee for doing yards here is $89. And that's bi-weekly, remember that. So I don't charge, and this is the hardest thing for people that are in this industry, just getting in this industry, and I had to go through it to figuring out what to charge, because you don't know how long the time takes you, right? If you've got a yard that is a certain, and I don't care what the square footage, I just look at it and say, okay, this yard is 89, 99, I have some yards that are 150. I don't charge by the square foot, I don't charge by the acre, I don't care, I just look at the yard, and I can tell you, just because I've done thousands and thousands of yards, I can tell you how long it's gonna take me. So a good hourly rate for mowing is gonna be $150 to $200 per man hour. And trimming is gonna eat up a lot of your time. Blowing, the time of day that you're cutting, like right now, there's a lot of dew on the grass. So up until about 11 o'clock, if the sun is out, it's a pain because we have to pretty much blow the whole yard because it produces just clumpy mess. After that, it's fine. The Bermuda just basically disappears when it's dry. So it would be a flat yard. It would be a yard that I can use my 48s on. So postage stamp yards, I have some of those, and those are fine as long as they don't have a lot of islands where sometimes you get 2 islands or tree rings and I can't get the mower through there. That's a pain. I'm still gonna take the yard, but I may have to weed eat that part. I don't like corner lots because there's too much edging. So all of the sidewalks and curbs around here have this 18-inch strip of grass between them, which I don't know why they do that here. Maybe just for aesthetics, which causes you to have to edge down one side and another on that, and then you have to edge the other side of the sidewalk. So it makes more work. My neighborhood, fortunately, we don't have sidewalks. And then I have some neighborhoods that don't have sidewalks or curbs. So that just makes it even better. So it would be a flat yard, a smaller yard. I'm going to say less than half an acre. A yard that doesn't have a lot of edging to do, so there's no sidewalks, there's no curbs. It's just basically what I call, they'll have water gullies in the front of the yard for the water. There's no like a sewer system. And it will have minimal trimming, meaning there's not a lot of beds, there's not a lot of tree rings, ornamental stuff. And let me not forget, absolutely, if I see a yard and they want a quote and they've got banana plants, banana trees all throughout the grass, I'm not even gonna take that yard on. Especially if the plants are small, because if you hit that with your string trimmer, it's gonna kill them. It's gonna cut them down. That's fine to have those things in beds, separated, but there's a lot of people around here that just plant stuff in the yard, just random. So it breaks up the mowing, it breaks up the trimming, there's nothing around it, and if you hit it with your trimmer line and it's small, you're gonna kill it. So people that plant Leland cypresses just randomly in the yard, I won't take those yards. I just won't do it. And I'm gonna say the number one thing that will make me not take a yard are water berms. Now, for some reason, the past 20 years, especially in the county that I'm in, Gwinnett, they have these steep water berms between the houses, and they'll grade it. Like, it could be a flat lot, and they'll grade it. They'll do this, and it has a point on it. You can't get a mower on there, not even a 21-inch mower. And this will go all the way from the backyard to the front to keep water from going into the neighbor's yard. It's the stupidest thing, and I have turned down yards because of that. If they didn't grade it where you can get a mower on it, because you're talking about 150, 200 feet of weed eating, and it's very hard with a weed eater to make Bermuda flat and even on a water berm. It just doesn't work. So I like smaller yards, less than a half acre, flat yards that don't have a lot of edging or no edging at all. Usually almost everybody has a concrete driveway, but no curbs, no sidewalks. That's a plus. I don't charge any less for that. It just makes my hourly rate higher. And not a lot of trimming, because trimming, you can destroy your efficiency if you have to trim a lot of stuff. Now, we have a yard that we're gonna go and do this morning, and you know what, I may put some footage on here. I've got a new magnetic holder. I'm just gonna put it on my mower, and there's so much trimming. The yard is really easy. The people never ever complain. We try to do a good job, but it's mostly weeds, but there's a lot of stuff to trim around because there's a lot of stuff in the yard. But we're pretty efficient at it. There's no sidewalk. There is a curb, but it's okay. They're on a cul-de-sac, so the frontage of that is very minimal. Oh, that's the other thing I'm gonna add. I love houses that are on cul-de-sacs because they have a very, very minimal amount of linear footage, usually of curbs and or sidewalks. Most of my houses have curbs and sidewalks and all that stuff, and some of them, I've got corner lots. I've got, I'm not gonna not take them, but that's gonna be more. It's gonna be more expensive. A corner lot's automatically $10 more, just for that. Now, what I also don't like, and I'm gonna show you guys this. Everybody around here has privacy fences. Not very many people have chain link fences. So this is my fence. This is just a regular picket fence, right? So these are very easy to trim around at the bottom. What I don't like is they're called shadow fences, where they will have a board and then a board coming out like this, so it leaves a gap at the bottom between the boards, and it's horrible. One of my customers has a fence like that. Now the fences those are considered high-end fences, and when I see that, the price goes up, because I can't get the weed eater head in there, and you can't ever get all the all the Bermuda grass and weeds that are growing up in there trimmed properly. So, and you darn sure better not go and spray Roundup in there unless the customer said, hey, spray Roundup in there. I don't have a spray license, so I don't spray anyway, but if I see that, the price goes up. And it's very rare to have a fence like that. And let's see, the other thing, and I've got some yards that have super steep hills that you can't hardly walk up. In fact, I've got 3 yards that require me to bring a push mower into the backyard. And the reason that I even took those on, because they're called postage stamp yards, they're very small. I could get maybe a 34-inch in there, but I couldn't use a stander because it's too steep. So I just take the push mower in there, and we have to weed eat the hills. But we can do it, me and Josh can do it really fast, like 5 minutes and it's done. So, yeah, I don't like those yards, but I still take them. And then the most important thing is the customer, right? So you've got the yards, you can have the perfect yard, but you got to have a customer that their money doesn't get funny. I have had some of those and I've had to drop them because they're poor money managers, and we do 100% credit card on file. And if I run your card after we do the service and it keeps insufficient funds and all this other stuff, you know, that's only going to happen a couple times, and you'll have to find somebody else that will let you pay when you want to pay. So we don't do that. 99% of my customers, I don't have any problem with them doing that. You're always going to have bad apples, and it's not bad that the people are bad. It's just maybe they're not good money managers. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm running a business, and cash flow is very important. And when I get done with the yard, I'm going to charge the card for the price of the yard, and that's it. I don't send out invoices. I don't send out Zelle or, I don't know, Cash App, all that. We don't do any of that, right? Because that requires the customer to do something in order for you to get paid. I've already done the service, so the credit card is ready to be charged, and I charge it. I usually will wait till I get home, and I'll do them all at once for the day. I'll go in there, charge the card through Yardbook, and emails them a receipt, and we're good to go. So the most that I would ever get into somebody for a service without getting paid is 1 yard. So if I do a yard and your card just keeps bouncing, and I've never had anybody not pay me eventually, but I've had to drop people because of that. And I would, you know, most people, they get new cards, their cards get stolen, whatever, and we just go and get it taken care of. But I'm not going to service the yard again until you're paid for that. I've had people say, well, I'll pay you next. No, it doesn't work that way. You may do it that way, but I'm not a collection agent, and I am not going to spend time. I'm not going to drive to your house, pick up cash. I'm not going to spend any time. I do lawn care. I'm not a collection service. It's already been set up. You knew the deal before we started, and we'll do it that way, or you can find somebody else to do it, because people love the convenience, because they don't want to have to do anything. They don't want to have to go and open an app up, and they don't have to do anything. All they do is just open their email and grab the receipt because it's already done. But anyway, that is pretty much what I look for in a lawn. The lawns around here are so varied, it is unbelievable. We have this neighborhood. My neighborhood has got big yards. It's probably the neighborhood that has the largest size yards with the cheapest houses. There's neighborhoods right next to us on the other side of the river that have smaller yards, but the houses are probably $200,000 more, and it's even more hilly than here. The neighborhood that's down the street, all these next neighborhoods, they're all postage stamp houses. They got these tiny, tiny, tiny little yards where you can get 1 or 2 vehicles in the driveway, and then you're in the street. And they have, you know, like you could probably get 3 houses on my lot. That's how small they are. But I don't mind those. Sometimes if they're so small that I would have to use just a push mower, I don't do it. Oh, that's the other thing. If your lawn requires me that I have to push mow the whole thing, no go. I'm not push mowing anymore. I got rid of about 40% of my customers because I stopped push mowing, and I only have these 3 because I failed to find out how wide the gate was, because I did it on Google. It looked like it was a double gate and ended up being like a 36 inch. I need 50 inches, which is standard around here, 50 inches minimum to get the trim stars in the back. But they're easy yards, so that's why I keep the push mower on there. So I am thinking maybe next season, to drop those and take that push mower off there, because I do not like, it's a waste of time. There's 6.5 million people here in Metro Atlanta, and even though I really like my customers, I don't want to have to buy another mower just to do a couple backyards, and I don't want to have to push mow. Not because, I mean, I push mow my entire yard because I like it, but it's a time efficiency waster. So if that's all you have, more power to you. Just save your money up when you can get a good commercial zero-turn mower. But at this point in my journey and career here, I can pick and choose, and I'm just not gonna continue to push mow customers' yards. So there's too many people out here that will do that are getting started, and that's how I got started. But I moved on from that. So this video is almost 17 minutes, so I would like for you guys to tell me what your ideal lawn size is, what your ideal lawn is, and also give me some more videos. I enjoy making the content where we're actually giving some advice. I've been doing this since 1977 in some form or fashion, so I've been doing it a long time, and I'm gonna try to do more videos of giving you guys different advice for surviving this journey, and not just it gets old watching people cut grass. So in fact, I'm not gonna even put the other yard in here. I think I decided the video's long enough. But I will maybe make that a different video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.